Hey everybody, Brian along with
Nate,
Survival Midwest. Today we're going to start our three-part series on chainsaw.
Today we basically just want to go over chainsaw selection, safety equipment, and a little bit of proper, whatever that you should look at before you're heading out in the snow and trying to figure it out. As you can see, we got three different saws on the tables here. Saws can range anywhere from $100 for a really cheap, whatever brand, to $1,000 for something really big and fancy. And you need to figure out what you are really going to be using this saw for. We got an MS 250 here, we got a 290, and then we got a 036 Pro, which would be like an MS 361 nowadays. These saws all do their own little thing really well. Realizing, if you're just a weekend warrior, cutting a little bit of firewood, a little bit of brush cleanup, you know what, nice little saw like this is probably what you want. I'll tell you what, for me heating my home and my shop with firewood, I use this saw for 85% of all the cutting I do. Brian's saw here, this MS 290, this is a great all-around saw for anyone with a little bit of acreage, and it's going to do a little bit more serious cutting. He's got a 16-inch bar in here right now. You can run all the way up to a 20-inch bar in here. Weighs a little more, it's got a little more power, but you can get a little bit more done with this. This 036, this is one of the old pulpwood saws that we use. It weighs a lot more, has a lot more power there, run 20-inch and bigger on it. We got other bigger saws, but in the realm of things, this is the kind of saw that most people probably are not going to be buying. As far as our personal preference, you can see Steel's a pretty favorite here. Echo, Husqvarna, other good quality professional saws. Saws that you can get service done on, saws you can get parts for. You may like your Homelite or Poland or anything else like that. That's fine, but in the realm of things, we'd rather pay for some quality and have it last.
And if the only thing you're going to use a saw for is just cleaning up a little brush in your yard and keeping it in the bed of your truck for a little disaster preparedness, maybe cutting your way out, you can probably get away with that. But if you're going to cut any type of firewood or you got some big cleanup to do, I would say that's the minimum. This would probably suit most people pretty well.
Yeah, I think actually, according to Steel, the MS 290, otherwise known as a Farm Boss, this is pretty much the most common saw that they sell right now.
Yeah, it's about a $350 to $370 saw.
Yep. You can get a little cheaper on the MS 250. I think that's 300 something.
This is probably around 700.
Yeah, if you were going to get a 361 right now, it'd probably be $700-800.
But you can cut wood all day with this. I mean, how many cords you got on this saw?
Oh, I bet you that's got 400 some cords through it.
And it's still good.
Still good.
So you get what you pay for. Keep that in mind.
Yep. As far as safety, you can see we got some safety gear hiding around here on the table. We have some minimum requirements that we fully expect any of you to be wearing and using while cutting. There's more depending on whether you're a professional sawer or whether you're just the weekend warrior. But some things you just can't get around on. First thing, eye pro. Basically, whether you're going to wear that or whether you're going to get one of the helmets with a screen on it, definitely need. Things flying around, don't want to lose your sight, got to know what's going on. Another thing, gloves. Tight gloves, good gloves. Stuff that makes you hold on here. Just like your grip on your gun, your grip on your saw, that's what's going to make the difference. Ear pro, hearing protection. Saws are loud, saws are noisy. You don't get your hearing back. Once you lose it, it's gone. Yeah, pretty much exactly there. The other thing, bare minimum requirement is a set of cutting pants or cutting chaps. I wear Husqvarna, cutting pants here. Brian wears Steel cutting chaps. If you look on the back side of his chaps here, you can see inside here is Kevlar sewn into the back here. Basically, the reason for the Kevlar inside these pants here is once you cut through this outer tough layer here, the Kevlar is long, stringy, and tough. So
they lock up saws really fast, don't they?
They lock up saws really fast. I went through a pair of chaps once by accident on a saw winding down. Wasn't using my chain brake there. Basically locks up everything in there. You spend 10 minutes taking it apart, but you know what? That's less spending, getting all
the meteor leg wouldn't.
Meteor leg wouldn't
fare so well, would it?
No. So, if you are going to be doing more than just firewood cutting, other minimum requirements: helmet, head protection. You can always see in articles, after a hurricane, major storm, whatever else, guys with major head trauma. If you're cutting a tree because branches are hanging, don't let that hanging branch catch you in the head.
And OSHA says if you're going to cut professionally, all of this plus the next thing is a requirement.
All this plus wearing safety cutting boots. Basically steel toe, but they also have Kevlar wrap over it, just like the pants, stop the saw, keep you from taking off your toes. If you're going to be out cutting anyways, you should be wearing some sort of safety toe, whether composite, whether steel toe, something to just purely keep you from crushing your feet. I recommend, getting some cutting boots, but you know what? Realize they're expensive, not everyone can afford everything.
And instead of chaps or cutting pants, anywhere from 70 to 150 bucks, somewhere in there.
Yeah, cutting pants more expensive than chaps. I like the pants personally because you know what? If I come in for lunch, I'm not going to take off my pants and forget to put them back on.
What's an ER visit cost?
Oh,
Cheap or more expensive than a set of cutting pants?
Way more expensive than.
So therefore, just buy a set.
Just buy a set, yes. Some of the other things that we like to take out with us when we're in the woods there, I mean, if you're going to go out by yourself and you're going to do something, at least let someone else know. If you can have a buddy come out, do some stuff with you, not only are you going to do stuff faster, you're also going to have someone there in case something goes wrong. Minimum requirements, safety equipment, keep you from bleeding. Here's a box, tacticalresponsegear.com, get one. If you're not going to do all that,
I carry a tourniquet with me. I mean, I carry a tourniquet with me everywhere I go, but I keep one in the pants of my chap, or the pocket of my chaps, because, well, it's probably the single most life-saving tool I'll have out there.
Your quick little cut on a limb with this kind of chain there, you're going to be bleeding, you're going to bleed excessively. That takes your minutes and gives you, a
little more time.
A little more time. Time for someone else to come and save you. Some of the other things takes wedges. Little wedges, big wedges. I prefer big wedges. I prefer plastic. Hit them with a chain. Don't dull your chain. Safety vest. That way, I keep a lot of extra gear normally on this right here. Keep the wedges, everything else. That way you're visible. People can see you. Axe. Hit with this side, chop with this side. Everything else works good like that.
So we're going to do some demo cutting today. So when we go out there, we'll demonstrate proper technique of starting a saw. There's only 2 safe ways to do it. We'll demonstrate both. We'll talk a little bit about proper saw checkover before we get started. A few things, we'll touch on some few things there. And we'll also talk about proper environment, safe working environment for you, whether it be what's up above and around you, always having a way out, or if there's other people around you, how to properly handle that situations.
All right, well, let's go outside and get some cut.
Let's cut some wood.